everybody back to another day of the 31 Days of Popcornween. And I seem to be the only person who can get that right. Probably because I came up with it. Anyways, tonight I have another film for you. A classic that I honestly don't hear enough people talking about anymore. This comes from one of my favorite all-time low-budget directors, Robert Rodriguez. Yes, that's right. Tonight I am talking about Grindhouse's Planet Terror.
What happened to your arm?
I got bit.
Bit by what?
If I told you, you probably wouldn't believe me.
What the hell is going on?
But the laws of science are broken.
Right now, the soldiers are turning.
Don't taunt me, Tramp.
Never had a choice.
Now, the last hope for humanity.
I'm gonna go get Jerry.
Fine. I'm riding with you.
Robert Rodriguez, Planet Terror, a Grindhouse feature.
This film is the brainchild of Hollywood best friend duo Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. They spent many years doing these B-movie mini festivals for themselves and their friends. A lot of the prints coming from Tarantino's private library. And eventually, Tarantino had an idea. Why don't we take this show on the road with perhaps some original material? And that's where the Grindhouse movies come in.
What I think how it even started was I had just done a 3D movie. 3D movies had been dead for a while, and I did a movie for Spy Kids 3D. And I was trying to think of the next thing that was a theatrical experience like that I'd forgotten about. And I just remember how much fun I had watching these double features of Quentin's, and I thought, I think I want to do a double feature. Originally, I was going to direct them both. I had this idea about 3 years ago. But I want to do a double feature, and Planet Terror was going to be one of them. And they were going to be sort of short features, so audiences weren't into that long. And then I came to Quentin with the idea, because I saw one of the double feature posters from way back when laying on his floor. And I had the same poster on my floor back in my house that inspired me. And I said,
what was the poster?
It was called Drag Strip Girl and Rock All Night, two Roger Corman AIP movies from the
king of
50s,
B-movies.
yeah,
from
exactly,
the 50s.
yeah.
I said, I wanted to do a movie like that, but you should do one and I should do one together. And he said, we got to call it Grindhouse. Within 5 minutes, we had the whole idea.
Now, I'm just going to focus on Planet Terror in this one because it's the more horror-based one. Together, they make a great double feature. You have a zombie flick with lots of exploitation elements, and then you have the high-speed car chase movie where badass chicks are killing an old stuntman who wants to murder them with his car. Both are ridiculous premises, but executed perfectly and with a lot of love for the original genre from which they are, I guess you could say, mimicking.
Open that door, will you, baby?
Being such a low-budget movie and keeping close to its roots, Planet Terror has a star-studded cast from Rose McGowan, Quentin Tarantino, Freddie Rodriguez, Bruce Willis, Josh Brolin, Michael Biehn, Tom Savini, Danny Trejo, Michael Parks, even Fergie is in this movie. Thankfully, she dies very quickly, or, well, you'll see when you watch the movie. This movie is a blast from start to finish. Now, this is one of those movies where Robert Rodriguez didn't really care as much about the story as he did the spectacle of the movie. And, well, he did that on purpose. Because this is a grindhouse movie, it's pure exploitation and sensationalism. Hell, one of the characters gets her leg chopped off in an accident and starts attaching different weapons to it, to the point where she has a machine gun for a leg that has a grenade launcher.
The fuck down here now! Let's remember what we're doing here. It's called exploitation.
And let's just say it has some of the coolest visual effects when it comes to her. She mows down so many zombie soldiers. It's absolutely amazing. The finale of the movie at the base is some of the most fun, nonsensical action you will ever see. You're gonna love every minute of it. while this is credited as a Robert Rodriguez film, it kind of was technically co-directed by Tarantino. Tarantino was on set for a huge portion of the film, and while his sequence only lasts maybe 10 minutes of the film, he does in some ways become the main villain of the third act.
Way up, baby, now!
Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez's unique Hollywood friendship was the main ingredient that led to such a unique set of films that created a very unique movie-going experience that a lot of people, especially my generation, never really got to experience. A lot of those grindhouse movie theaters, like the ones being recreated in this double feature, don't really exist anymore, and even in the 2000s really didn't, especially if you lived in any kind of rural area like I did. I grew up in rural East Texas. There was no grindhouse theaters. We had one cinemaplex in the whole town.
2 adrenaline-fueled roller coasters. 1 ticket to ride. In 2.5 hours of pure dynamite, Planet Terror and Death Proof. Only at the Grindhouse.
Now, while the plot of this movie is a bit outlandish and goofy and very B-movie-esque, Robert Rodriguez knows exactly what's important when it comes to this type of exploitation film. Memorable characters and memorable action. And this movie has got both by the buckets.
You're from Dinky's, ain't you? Well, you tell that son of a bitch. He thinks he's gonna come over here and get my recipes.
The plot to this movie is pretty simple. Follows one main plot and a couple subplots. The main plot follows our hero, Ray, reconnecting with his long-lost go-go dancer girlfriend, Cherry. They get attacked by zombies. She loses a leg in the process. He gets arrested by the cops. All hell starts breaking loose. He and the police officers go to rescue her and try to find the cause of all this mayhem and destruction and stop it. You got this Black Ops military platoon that's gone rogue, headed by Bruce Willis, who's trying to get this mysterious gas from Lost star Naveen Andrews.
I also want your balls.
To inhale this in a very Bane-like manner to give them, I don't know, I guess they can heal faster, or maybe they stay awake longer. It really is not clear what benefits they actually get from this gas, but what we do know is when they stop breathing it, they start getting nasty boils and pimples and weird mutations start happening to them. And at one point, Quentin Tarantino's penis falls off. It's a real thing that happens in this movie. Tarantino loses his dick. You're a great friend, Robert Rodriguez. Don't ever change. Another subplot follows the Dr. Block, Josh Brolin, and his wife, played by Marley Shelton, who are, let's say, not having a good marriage. Marley is a giant Subaru driving lesbian, and she's trying to run away with her girlfriend, Fergie. When Fergie comes to town, well, the zombies get her, and Josh Brolin figures out what's happening behind his back. Now, Marley is an anesthesiologist at the hospital, and, well, Dr. Block, being the evil bastard he is, uses her own needles against her, making her hands into floppy meat paddles. She can't use her hands for, like, a good portion of the movie. Now, luckily for her, the zombie outbreak happens at the hospital right before he has the chance to kill her. So she escapes and goes and gets her son. Fortunately for her son, he blows his own head off. Dr. Block, well, he gets infected by the virus by one of his own patients, who takes one of his giant pustules and decides to wipe it down Josh Brolin's face. Take that, Thanos. That's what you get for snapping half of the known universe. You bastard. Now, Marley eventually hooks up with the other group that El Rey and Cherry start with, the sheriff and his brother, who runs a barbecue shack. And we find out the sheriff is actually his brother's landlord, and he has been raising the rent price in hopes that his brother would spill his secret barbecue sauce. Now, JT, the barbecue aficionado, is one of the standout characters because his character literally only cares about barbecue sauce. There's a zombie apocalypse happening out there. They come to his shack and try to kill him, and he just does away with them and goes back to trying to make barbecue sauce. As a matter of fact, he passes out from working so hard and perfecting this barbecue sauce.
I'll tell you what, brother, that little bit of blood did the trick.
Yeah. Anybody ask you what the movie's about? It's about JT, his dog, and his barbecue
I think
sauce.
they're thinking about changing the title to JT and his sauce.
And find out at one point the secret ingredient that he's been looking for was in fact his own blood. Now that's pouring some blood, sweat, and tears into your craft there, JT. Might be taking it a little too seriously.
Damn, that's good.
Now, Sheriff Haig, played by Michael Biehn, the Terminator's Kyle Reese, of all people. Well, like you know him, like I do, that guy from the Omega Code.
The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away.
You're probably not like me, are you? Anyways, Sheriff Haig, his brother, El Rey, Cherry, Marley, a bunch of other survivors, all banding together, including Marley's father, who, if you are a Tarantino or a Robert Rodriguez fan, you're going to recognize this guy immediately, because this is the same character that Michael Parks played in From Dusk Till Dawn. That's right, Michael Parks is back.
Morning. Fart like a goddamn pack mule since I've been back.
That's right, Michael Parks is back as Earl McGraw. Now, you've seen Earl McGraw before. He was the sheriff or the Texas Ranger in From Dusk Till Dawn that was chasing the brothers. He was also the Texas Ranger in Kill Bill that found the bride's wedding, which makes From Dusk Till Dawn, Planet Terror, and Kill Bill all taking place within the same universe. What? It's a weird-ass universe. I guess the whole Kill Bill thing didn't end very well. Unless these are just variations of the same character. It probably is variation. I would say this Earl McGraw is the same one from Dusk Till Dawn, but not necessarily the same one from Kill Bill. And we find out that Marley is in fact his daughter. So there's a lot of fun little Easter eggs for Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez fans out there.
I told you I didn't want to see you again. Daddy!
This is a character that is just such a great character Quentin wrote.
We both loved Michael Parks so much. It was never discussed. There was never an agreement about it between me and Robert, but it was just sort of like, he's a character we share. And the thing that would be interesting about that is to see where Robert takes him. Because once it's introduced, there's no takebacks. That now becomes him. That becomes part of his lineage.
And of course, the entire movie culminates at the military base where Bruce Willis's platoon has taken over the entire thing and been siphoning this toxic zombie gas. El Rey teams up with the doctor, the bioengineer played by Lost Naveen Andrews, and they take on Bruce Willis, who turns into a giant blob monster, and they just shoot him. Kind of an anticlimactic bit for him being the big bad, but that's where Tarantino comes in, and he plays the evil melting. That's right. That's what I said. It's not real YouTube. It's a movie. I'm not talking about a real event here. It's a fictional thing, YouTube. So Don't demonetize me for mentioning what his character is, please. Overall, I think Planet Terror is a great film to add to your watch list this Halloween season. It's got zombie fun, hot babes, guns, Bruce Willis. It's got everything you possibly need. And it's made by people who really love B movies and want to share a little bit of that love. And really, that's the type of filmmaker that I want more out there. Filmmakers like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino who love the medium that they're trying to make. Now, personally, I wish that they would make another double feature. Not necessarily sequels to Death Proof or Planet Terror, but another Grindhouse double feature. That would be amazing. But Tarantino's coming to the end of his tenure. He's only promised, 10 films or something like that? And I think he's got one left. So, probably not going to be another Grindhouse movie. Maybe Robert Rodriguez will find somebody else to do another one with. I think that would be a fun thing to do every couple decades. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little chat about Grindhouse's Planet Terror. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe, and there is a playlist of all these reviews on the Burnt Popcorn channel. Go click that playlist, just watch them all back to back. If you haven't seen them all, if you need to catch up, it's a great way to do that. But come back tomorrow when Kid of the North will talk about another movie that he hasn't disclosed to me.